Losing your mind is such a sweet cliche. Crazy's just another label, like straight or gay. So many ways to fall apart, but then, here comes the twist. You play it out in public. You're just an egotist. Evening, Som. Looks like you and I have got a lot to discuss, haven't we? Let's see, a lot's gone on since the last time we met in the ring. Well, my hair's grown back a fair bit. The Olympics has been on, that's pretty cool. And oh yeah, you kicked my mother in the head. Now, I know you wonder why I don't talk about that more than I do. Well, the fact is that even as you drove your boot into the skull of the woman who gave me life, the woman who sacrificed everything to give me the elocution lessons, the dance classes, the ballet, the street, the tap, the judo, the boxing, the photo shoots, everything that made me into the pioneering mass media megastar I am today, even as you did what you did, Som, I knew I would have my day in the ring with you. I knew I would have my opportunity to make things right. And I was not going to give you the satisfaction of being perceived to be involved in some kind of epic confrontation with me. Because let's face it, you've got a lot more to gain from being involved in that than I have, haven't you, Som? But then you had to keep pushing it, didn't you? A couple of weeks later on Wildcard, I was having what happened to be a very fucking important discussion with Sabra Nikolaev. An important discussion with one of the very few people in this business who has ever seen me as anything more than that cartoon character people perceive on screen. One of the very few people who has ever spoken to me like an actual human being. And you walked in on that conversation, didn't you, Som? And your tiny little Neanderthal, knuckle-dragging alpha male brain couldn't process the idea of a conversation with a female friend that revolved around anything other than sex. So you did what people like you always do when you're struggling to understand the situation. You started throwing out labels. Labels like faggot and queer and pansy and all those other little words you like to use. Because frankly, that's all you know how to do. Well, Som, if you're going to throw labels at me, I'm going to throw a few at you. But first, a little context. You see, I've been thinking a lot about my career lately and the trajectory it's been on. See, it's well known that whilst I've been dominating the inter-promotional stage, whilst I've been making waves on pay-per-view, on Wildcard, week in, week out, I've been suffering. And now I know I mentioned this last time we faced off, but I don't think I put my finger on what it was about that time. You see, what it's about is who and what you're fighting for. You see, on pay-per-view, when I'm handing you your ass on Double Down, Som, when I'm in the Extreme Tournament, beating Doug E. Fresh in one of the matches of the century, when I'm defending my CWC Tag Team titles, I am fighting for an audience that appreciates the style, the flair, the blue chip athleticism and the crossover brand appeal that I bring to this industry. Whereas when I'm on Wildcard, I'm facing an audience that appreciates you. And what are you, Som? Let's get to the labels. Well, you're a guy with a girlfriend he doesn't respect. You're a guy with a tiny group of friends that don't respect him. You're a guy with who for whom the same tiny group of friends will be fighting him in 6 months' time when your tedious little alliance inevitably breaks down in an unbelievably dull fashion. You're just a guy who, if he didn't have this one meagre little talent he has, would be that ankle-tagged Asbo scumbag aging moron sat in the corner of the pub spouting out his BNP opinions to anyone who will listen. And you, Som, you're the guy who these people look up to. Well, I make no secret of the fact that I live to be loved. I live to be cheered. I live to be clapped. I love all that stuff. I like the song goes, I wanna be adored. But if being adored on Wildcard means being like you, then I can live with being hated. And trust me, Sam, after all in, those fans that worship you are going to have plenty of reasons to hate me. You see, if you wanted to make this into a personal thing, if you wanted to make this into a grudge match, well, congratulations, mate, you succeeded. But you haven't succeeded in unsettling me, you haven't succeeded in making me complacent or too angry to focus, no. What you've succeeded in doing is catching exactly the same beatdown you caught at Double Down, punctuated with a long sight lullaby pounded into the side of your skull, punctuated with whatever it takes to put you on the shelf for a very, very long time and kickstart my domination of Wildcard, my domination of the SCW, whether it means being loved or being hated. You know what, son? I've been watching this little public breakdown you've been having, this passé little descent into madness you've been going through, but the fact is, you're not crazy, are you, Sam? No. You're just sad. You're a miserable little man who's trying to ride my coattails in order to stay relevant in the one narrow little arena of life where he has ever had any meaning. Well, we'll see how much meaning you gain from waking up in a hospital bed for what you did to my mother, for what you did to my friends, for the labels you put on me, for the labels you put on, for the labels you've thrown at people for your entire damn career. Because the irony is that, yeah, for all my reputation as a poser, I'm the only one out of the two of us who's really honest about who he is, you see? When we face off at All In, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to roll out of bed, I'm going to get in that shower and put a few custom products in this hair to get it growing again. I'm going to exfoliate thoroughly. I'm going to take some time picking out something to wear. I'm going to stick on a little bit of Alanis just to get me in the mood, and then, isn't it ironic, I am going to kick your fucking teeth down your fucking throat to make an example out of you to everyone that doubts that I am truly the mass media megastar, the one-man ratings spike, the man who is going to expose you as the pitiful, bigoted, cowardly little nothing you are, the woman-hating, homophobic, scumbag, worthless, low-life, little pissant, shitbag, fuckface cunt you are, Sam. And because I am bigger than reality. See you there.